Aloha and welcome back to Live at the Legislature. I'm Ka'eo Kealoha Lindsay with the House Minority. Our guest today is Representative Cynthia Thielen, who is the Assistant Minority Floor Leader and represents District 50, which spans from Kailua to Kaneohe Bay. Good morning, Representative.
Good morning.
So our topic today is a bit of a hot one in recent months. And to begin, Representative Thielen, what is net neutrality?
Net neutrality is short for internet neutrality. Most people aren't aware of the term, or if they are, they've kind of heard it in passing. But right now, it's become an extremely important issue in Hawaii and nationally. Basically, you sign up with an internet service provider, an ISP, like Hawaiian Tel, AT&T, Verizon, Oceanic, Spectrum. Your ISP cannot block or choose what content you see or charge more for content on the internet. Let me say that again. Your ISP cannot block or control or choose what content you see on the internet. This is what net neutrality means, that information is available fairly and equally to the viewer. Basically, when you sign up with your ISP, you're entitled to access to the entire internet and its content at one set price. That's another very important thing. You aren't priced in tiers. There aren't discriminatory pricing structures. You pay one price for your internet content. What you do pay is a particular price for the speed in which you access the internet. But that's not content. Content is equally available. Websites, software, bloggers, social media sites have equal access to the internet. Twitter, Facebook, Netflix, etc. And again, you get access to the internet at the speed you pay for through your ISP, your internet provider.
Is it at risk?
Absolutely, it's at risk, and that's where people are probably not that aware of what has happened. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, repealed the nation's net neutrality rules in December. There's been some pushback, but it's been not as strong or as vocal as I would hope it would be. Anyone who uses the internet is under attack on internet freedom and democracy and a movement towards censored content. That's the scary part, a movement towards censored content of what you will be able to access on the internet. Hawaii and 21 other states filed a suit against the FCC to block the rollback of net neutrality. In addition, last month, I led legislators from both sides of the aisle through a letter I drafted to urge Governor Ige to proclaim that net neutrality would be preserved in Hawaii by his signing of an executive order. 21 legislators, bipartisan, sent this letter to Governor Ige and urging him to sign an executive order that would keep net neutrality in place for Hawaii. The executive order would require internet service providers operating in Hawaii to abide by net neutrality rules. I hand-delivered it to Governor Ige's office and met with his chief of staff. And Ige's signature on an executive order would place him, along with New York and Montana, their governors have signed executive orders to keep net neutrality in their states. The reason we have to do it by executive order is legislative action here takes so long that it might not, a bill might, and a law might not be in place until June.
And how does net neutrality affect people?
The FCC's repeal of net neutrality could bring an end to equal, unlimited access to public websites, higher fees for everyone who uses the internet and social media, and you'd be forced to buy packages similar to your TV channel lineups with basic premium packages that people have to buy to see the content that they want. The internet providers, the internet service providers, would become the gatekeepers. They would be the gatekeepers that control the content. HawaiiTel, AT, Oceanic, Spectrum, they would decide what internet access and content you get for the basic package. Innovation and ideas would be squashed or really priced out of existence for the consumer. Extra costs for higher speeds in addition to base fees, the demise of startups and small businesses with small website budgets, and the demise of choices, the end of choices for the consumer. It would be a situation where monopolies with unmatched funding, say like Amazon and Google, could determine the marketplace that would be on the internet, and censored or low prioritized content that bury information and stop citizens from learning truths.
And how does net neutrality affect small businesses?
Well, I asked my son, Dave Thielen, who grew up here and is in Boulder, Colorado, and I said, how would net neutrality affect small businesses? Dave was a former senior developer at Microsoft, and he is the founder and the CEO of Windward Studios. He grew up on the Windward side, which is a computer software company based in Boulder, Colorado. And he grew his business from himself to about 40 employees. Dave's quotes are right there for the viewer to see. And I hope the viewer will pay attention to that, because these companies, the innovators in our community, could go out of business.
And so what's next for you, Representative Cynthia Thielen?
Governor Ige is holding a news conference today at 11:30 to announce what he is going to do about net neutrality in response to the letter that I drafted and obtained the signatures of 21 of my colleagues. My hope is that Governor Ige will follow the role of Montana and New York and declare net neutrality stays in place in Hawaii. Aloha to all of you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.